Hello, my crafty friends. It's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and here is the fourth project in the Countdown to Christmas card series. And our theme for today is thank you cards. So I'm keeping this pretty simple. I am going to be using some pattern paper, some different embellishments, and a little ephemera tag from my stash. I believe that was from a Spellbinders Christmas kit I got a couple of years ago. So I am just taking a strip of that leftover pattern paper with the, leaves and stuff on it, and I'm just adhering it using some double-sided adhesive to the inside of my card. I wasn't even paying attention. It worked out in the end, but I wanted to put this on the bottom. And what I did was put it on the bottom of how I normally make a card. But this one is going to be landscape instead of vertical, but it just turns out to be on the side instead. So this pattern paper was also from that Spellbinders kit. It's a bit thinner than most of the pattern paper in my stash, but it works well. I'm going to put that down on the front. And this is about when I realized that I didn't put that pattern paper where I wanted it to be, but keep going and it works out just fine. And then these leaves, I'm just going to take and adhere to the back of this panel. And those were also from a card kit, but that one might have been Simon Says Stamp. I'm not sure. I've had these things in my stash for a while. They may have actually even been a Brutus Monroe kit. Not 100% sure, but my goal has been use up what I have in my stash, so that's what I've been working on. So once I get that down, I'm going to adhere this panel directly on with some liquid glue. So I am doing this Countdown to Christmas series with Michelle from Scrap Secrets. So I will link her channel down below so that you can check out her video and see what kind of thank you card that she made. We have been trying not to share what we're working on, so that we are both surprised when we watch each other's videos to see, how each other interpreted the theme that we came up with. And then I'm going to take my Bitty Buzz cutter and this Thanks die, which was again from a recent Simon Says Stamp card kit. I really like the font of this, and I'm taking some red glitter cardstock from my stash, and I'm going to cut this out and adhere that using some wet glue to the front of this card. Once I poke out all of the little bits, of course. And this Bitty Buzz cutter, it does amazing. I love it. It fits on your desk. It does a lot of fairly good sized dies. You can fit a lot through it. And then I'm going to die cut this a couple more times because I am going to stack this so that it has a little bit of dimension. I believe I do 2 additional layers so that this is a little bit popped up without having to use foam tape and get in all the finicky places and make sure that it's thin enough and not showing. And this is just easier to adhere these all together. You can stack them and it gives you more of a chipboard look. If you wanted that dimension. You could also use the die and cut out some fun foam if you wanted to do it that way. You could also adhere some sticky paper to your card panels before you die cut them so that you don't have to use liquid glue if you don't want to. But for me, I think it's just easier to use the wet glue because it gives me that little bit of wiggle room, because we all know that Marie doesn't like to put things down straight the first time. So the wiggle room of the wet glue lets me adjust and make sure that everything is lined up the way that it should be. So if you have any, comments or suggestions that you'd like to leave, feel free to leave me a comment down below. I am going to link to the playlist at the end of this video, and I will include my intro video that gives all the explanation of the giveaway that we're doing. And Michelle also has an intro video on her channel to explain how she's doing her giveaway. Basically, we do ask that you're subscribers to both channels, and the more that you comment, the more, chance that you would have to be in the running for the giveaways that we'll be doing. And so I've got this all lined up together, and I'm just going to take the liquid glue and put it on one more time and adhere it to the card panel. And I don't believe I did any embellishing. You could always add more embellishments, but I left it with the holly leaves, you know, to give that little pop of green on there. And so then once that adhered down, that's going to complete today's project. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And I am just putting the block on there to kind of hold it in place. And there it is. That is the project with my little panel on the side instead of at the bottom. I hope y'all have a great day.